Stephen Akinmurele was a young man with severe mental issues. After his parents split up, he lived with his mother, who often had his grandmother over. Stephen's grandmother was a strict disciplinarian and he grew to resent her. This seething hatred would stretch to encompass all elderly people in general. His hatred would develop into murderous intentions, and it all came to a head on October 30th, 1998, when he killed Eric Boardman and his wife Joan, who were both in their 70s. After he was caught and charged with their murder, more evidence came up that linked him to previous murders of the elderly, all while he was a teenager. However, Stephen decided that he didn't want to go to trial, so he left the earth on his own terms. Welcome to history's biggest villains. Stephen Akinmurele was born on March 16, 1978 in Nigeria. After his parents split up in 1987, he and his mother moved to their native land, the Isle of Man. Stephen was brought up by his strict, overbearing grandmother, as most psychologists determined that this was the reason that he would develop an intense hatred of the elderly. However, in 1996, Stephen, who was now 18, moved to Blackpool, England, where he worked as a civil servant by day and a barman by night. It's believed that drugs and alcohol combined with his mental instability pushed him over the edge. His hatred of senior citizens carried into his adulthood, occupying every space of his mind. He would later tell a prison hospital doctor that he would lie in bed at night thinking of murder. He acted on those thoughts on October 30th, 1998. Eric Boardman, 77, was a retired electrician who lived with his wife of 27 years, Joan, in their Blackpool home. They were a well-known and respected couple in the community. They would often go out on rides on Eric's boat on the weekends. However, Stephen had broken into their house and attacked them. He grabbed Joan, beating and strangling her to death. He then used a kosh that he made of batteries tied together to beat Eric to death before escaping the residence. The couple were discovered the next day by their daughter. The police combed the scene and they eventually found the bloodied kosh underneath Eric's body. Fingerprint testing revealed prints belonging to Stephen, and he was arrested and charged with 2 murders on November 1st, 1998. As police interviewed him, they got a sense for how twisted his mind was. They also found enough evidence to charge him with 3 more murders. The first was for the murder of 75-year-old Jemima Cargill, who had been Stephen's landlord. She was killed only a few weeks before the Boardmans in a flat fire in Blackpool, as authorities believed that he probably killed her, then set the place on fire to hide the evidence. Stephen was also charged with 2 murders that happened while he was living in the Isle of Man. The first was of 68-year-old Dorothy Harris, who was blind and deaf, as she was killed in a house fire in February 1996. The next was of 72-year-old Marjorie Ashton, who was found strangled in her home in May 1995. Stephen would have been 16 years old at the time of this murder. Despite this, the charges for the 2 murders in the Isle of Man were dropped after legal complexities regarding his nationality. While in custody, he confessed to 3 other murders that police didn't think he committed. They suspected that he did this to hide his true motive, his enjoyment of killing old people. He would even claim that he killed a man and buried his body on a cliff overlooking the sea. The police would dig around the area extensively and found a gun with his fingerprint on it, but no evidence of a body. Police would open up at least 10 more cases of arson and sudden deaths in Blackpool that could be applied to Stephen. He was placed in a segregated unit upon his arrest, and in August 1999, he was found unconscious after an overdose of his medication. After this attempt on his own life, he was now put on suicide watch. His girlfriend, Amanda Fitch, would tell the media that Stephen was a danger to himself. He told me that he wished the police had never found him, and that he didn't want to go to trial, she would later say. And one day while under watch, officers found a sharpened toothbrush in his cell, and Stephen told them that he fantasized about taking a female staff member hostage. He was moved to another segregated wing of the jail, but Stephen decided that he wasn't going to stand trial for his crimes. On August 28, 1999, at 21 years old, Stephen hung himself from a window in his cell. There was a suicide note in his pocket that read, "I know it's not right always thinking like this, but it's always on my mind. I can't help the way I feel. What I did was wrong. I know that and I feel for them, but that doesn't mean I won't do it again. I'll keep on having this feeling I'm going mad because I can't take any more of this, and that's why I'm saying goodbye." Listen, I will never excuse anyone for murdering somebody, but my biggest question is, what was the thing? What happened with his grandmother that caused him to hate elderly people so much? Like, what really happened? Let's be honest. It had to be something that, as a young boy, you go on to harbor some intense hatred to the point where you want to kill everyone that even resembles your grandmother. Like, what really happened? That's my biggest question. Because it probably still haunts him. Maybe that's why he committed suicide. Like, there has to be a bigger reason that nobody knows. Maybe there was some abuse there. I'm not excusing anything he did, but maybe there was some abuse there. Maybe there was something that happened that drove him to go that way, because this is just a wild shift. You go from, okay, you have some mental instabilities, so now you just fantasize about killing old people all day. There has to be some type of event that causes that shift of thinking. That's the biggest thing. There's no way you harbor those feelings forever. And the thing is, you're only 21. He's so young. This is all while he's a teenager. Thank you for watching. I appreciate the support you guys give this channel. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Definitely let me know what other people you want me to do a video on. Thank you for the support. I know I haven't uploaded in a couple weeks. I apologize. But thank you. Please be safe. Stay on the grind. Have a great day. I'm out. Peace.